Before starting any of the following flexibility tests, you want to be sure the client does a 5 to 10 minute aerobic warm-up. The first flexibility test will be the Canadian trunk forward flexion test. Be sure the client removes their shoes for this test. The client will sit with their back straight, feet flat against the box, and head in a neutral position. When performing the test, be sure the client does not lead with one hand and that the client does not bend the knees. The client should inhale before reaching and exhale as they reach. This position should be held for 2 seconds, and the client should perform 2 trials and record the best of their 2 scores. This test is to assess the client's hamstring and lower back flexibility. The sit and reach test may need to be modified for various subpopulations, including the young, the old, and the pregnant. The next flexibility test will be the YMCA sit and reach test. Be sure the client removes their shoes for this test. For this test, you will place a yardstick on the floor and place a strip of tape on the 15-inch mark. Have the client place their feet on the edge of the tape with 10 to 12 inches apart. Be sure the client keeps their back straight and their head in a neutral position. When the client performs a test, ensure the client's fingers are touching the yardstick at all times, that one hand is not leading in front of the other. Also, ensure knees are not bent during the test. Have the client inhale before performing the test and exhale as they reach. Ensure the client holds the position for 2 seconds. The test should be performed twice, and the best score of the 2 should be recorded. The sit and reach test may need to be modified for various subpopulations, including the young, the old, and the pregnant. This test is to assess the client's hamstring and lower back flexibility. The third flexibility test will be this chair sit and reach test, which is used for the older population. The chair used should be 17 inches in height and placed against the wall. When performing the test, the client does not need to remove their shoes. You will instruct the client to extend one leg with the ankle dorsiflexed while keeping the unextended leg on the floor and keeping their head in normal alignment. When performing the test, instruct the client to inhale before and exhale when reaching. Be sure the client does not lead with one hand and that they are holding the position for 2 seconds. The final flexibility test is the Thomas test. Have the client lie supine. Instruct the client to bring the tested leg to their chest while keeping the untested leg in straight and in contact with the mat. If the untested leg lifts off of the mat during the test, then the person is categorized as inflexible. If the person is able to keep their untested leg straight on the mat, then the client is classified as flexible. The client should hold this position for 2 seconds, and each side should be performed twice. The best score of the 2 should be recorded. During our tests, we had 5 test subjects between the age of 22 and 24. For the Canadian trunk forward flexion test, 3 of our test subjects needed improvement. 1 was classified as very good, and 1 was classified as fair. During the YMCA sit and reach test, 2 of our subjects were classified as above average, while we had 1 well above average, 1 well below average, and 1 below average. For the chair sit and reach test, all of our subjects tested between 5 inches to 7.75 inches. For the Thomas test, all of our subjects were flexible on both legs.